Welcome to the 12 Report with Blessings Mosugu, and these are the headlines. Osun Governor Ademola Adeleke sues EFCC, demands 2 billion naira as damages over freezing of state account. Atiku Abubakar urges President Tinubu to direct the ICPC to release former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai. Teenager kills grandparents, 6 others in Thailand school shooting. We have our reporters stationed in different parts of the country and beyond. Aisha Saliu is on standby in Abuja. Emmanuel Lubobokov joins from Lagos. Biola Festus joins from River State, while Chinwe Ugele joins from Abia State. We've got the details in a moment. We start off in Osun State, where Governor Ademola Adeleke has filed a 2 billion naira suit against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, challenging the freezing of a state federal statutory allocation account. The suit, filed by the Federal High Court in Abuja, argues that the anti-graft agency acted outside its legal powers by directing a restriction on the account without first obtaining a valid court order. The Attorney General and Accountant General of Osun State are co-plaintiffs in the case. The EFCC says the account was frozen as part of an investigation into the alleged diversion of about 11 billion naira in public funds and insists the action is unrelated to the upcoming governorship election. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has directed the commission to take immediate steps to unfreeze the account, saying the timing of the action is deeply embarrassing. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Media and Publicity Committee of the Osun State APC, Oluremi Omowaye, has alleged that widespread financial fraud has been taking place under the current Osun State government. Omowaye made the claim in an exclusive interview with News Central while responding to questions on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC's decision to freeze and later unfreeze the state account. He argued that the anti-graft agency's actions raised concerns about the state's financial management and called for greater transparency and accountability in the handling of public funds.
We are not EFCC. EFCC is an independent arm of the government, agency of government. But let me make this clear. It's so sad that Osun State has a university called University of Malaysia. That university is the most expensive university, government-owned university in Nigeria. A lot of civil servants cannot afford to send their children there. Our healthcare system are in shambles. In shambles. Governor Adeleke, just a few days ago, transferred 20,000 to all workers and artisans directly from the coffers of the Osun State government. The AFCC came up with a report that a lot is happening around the ecology fund. We had made a lot of noise that Osun got 17 billion for ecology fund. There's been an investigation on the 11 billion earlier. So EFCC will not come and meet you if they are not petitioned, if they did not notice something funny. And it's just like they catch a robber, armed robber, and someone is saying the armed robber is related to the governor, and because election is coming, we should release him. Well, the president, in his wisdom, feels he does not want unnecessary noise. But that does not change the fact that there have been a lot of financial fraud ongoing with the Osun State government. The FCC had invited them severally. ICPC had even gotten some of the officials of the Osun State government, Osun State Health Insurance Scheme, to refund the money. There's even one they are doing that is shocking. They get people to take oaths just because of 10,000 naira. So they give people 10,000 naira and they get them to take oaths and promise that they're going to vote for Governor Adeleke. So I think EFCC is just doing their work, and I've rolled out evidences. I mean, they paid all staffs 20,000. They used to pay coppers 5,000 every month. A few days ago, they paid coppers 20,000 naira directly from the state coffers, money that is not appropriated for. So I think all of us should just allow EFCC.
More on that on News Central's page. Definitely you can watch that on YouTube, and it will definitely be replayed if you want to see the full interview. But in the meantime, Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, has urged President Bola Tinubu to direct the ICPC to release former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai. He cited the president's recent directive to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Osun State's frozen bank accounts. Atiku, in a statement, said the presidential action raises questions about the operational independence of anti-graft agencies. El-Rufai has remained in ICPC custody since February 19 over alleged financial impropriety during his tenure as Kaduna governor. Let's take a look at security. 5 students of Gateway ICT Polytechnic, Sakwade, and 2 other victims abducted by gunmen in Ogun State have regained their freedom after a coordinated rescue operation by security agencies. Governor Atiku Abubakar said the victims were rescued alive after about a week in captivity through a joint operation involving the police, military, Department of State Services, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, local vigilantes and hunters. One of the rescued students sustained a gunshot injury but has been treated and stabilized. The governor said the operation received a major boost after the Inspector General of Police approved aerial surveillance. Police say no ransom was paid, while 2 suspected kidnappers have been arrested and investigations are continuing. Now, a coalition of civil society organizations has called on Nigerians to put aside political differences and unite in the fight against insecurity and terrorism across the country. Speaking to journalists in Abuja, members of the coalition commended President Bola Tinubu's efforts in strengthening the military and improving the welfare of security personnel, describing them as critical to protecting lives and safeguarding the nation. They also cautioned against the politicization of security issues, saying that national security requires collective responsibility, and expressed support for the planned implementation of the new minimum wage by the federal government.
The president is working tirelessly to end insecurity, and Nigeria is winning the war against insecurity. So, stop politicization of insecurity. This is not a game, but cheap popularity. Life are at stakes. Nigeria must unite against insecurity together.
Such the country needs to encourage them and boost their morale. That's fine. We call on Nigerians to continue support on our security apparatus in order to fight against insecurity. And at this point, we thank Mr. President once again for the increment in the allowance of the Nigerian Armed Forces.
To health matters now. Health experts are encouraging Nigerians to make their well-being a daily priority as they converge for a wellness festival aimed at promoting healthier lifestyles and preventive healthcare. The initiative brings together medical professionals, fitness coaches, nutritionists, and wellness advocates to provide free health screenings, fitness sessions, and health education, while raising awareness about the importance of knowing one's health status before illness develops. News Central's Emmanuel Olubobokun joins us live to give the updates on this development. Emmanuel, it's very pertinent that health is the center of the conversation. What are the health experts saying about the importance of preventive healthcare in Nigeria?
Very good afternoon to you, to the studio. Yes, actually, I'm right here. There have been some conversations going around health issues and looking at wellness of people. I know they've made some, the keynote speaker is actually giving an address, and she made some points, which she said that many people are actually living, we yet don't even understand and know the state of their health, and it's very important. Some people going around, going through IBPs, hypertensions, and just within for knowing it, they're already slumming, and giving up the ghost. And those are some of the key points that they are trying to make, that people must be very cautious. But I'm not going to say much. I have one of the health advocates over here who's going to also give a point. She's Dr. Muji, who's going to actually be speaking and giving us share some light on how well many of Nigerians should actually take good care of their health. A very good afternoon to you, ma'am. Good afternoon. Yes. Now we're talking about health, wellness of individuals. Now, just share some light on some points you feel it's very important for people to know about their health conditions, how well they should take care of themselves, and what they should do in relation to what they should actually even eat. Because we don't eat what we want to eat just to stay alive, but the proper feeding of our food that we should eat and how well we should eat it.
Thank you very much. There is no how we're going to talk about health without talking about nutrition. And there is no how we're going to talk about nutrition without talking about where the food is coming from. And that brings us back to the farm. And the second major thing is we are all dust. At the end of the day, we're created out of dust. So our existence, to our roots, to nature. So what we're doing in this Wellness Revolution campaign is to connect our people back to nature. Stop treating healthcare as an emergency. Treat it from a preventive angle. So that brings us back to what...
Apologies for that. That's Emmanuel Olubawokun giving us an update on healthy living and the conversations around prioritizing health, especially before it becomes an emergency situation. You're live with us on the 12th Report. We go on a break now. When we come back, we've got more stories. Stay with us. We're glad you're still here. Now to more stories. A filling station in Abuja's Area 3 district has been gutted by fire. The incident has raised concerns about the cause of the blaze and the extent of the damage. Our correspondent, Atiku Abubakar, is at the scene to assess the situation and get more details. Atiku, this is a very disturbing situation. What can you tell us about the situation at the scene? What have you been able to gather so far about the cause and the extent of the fire?
Blessings. I have to point out that based on what we are seeing here, this is the AYM Shafa filling station in Area 8. So you can see, some of the fuel pumps just right here got burnt. But then I have to show you, to ascertain exactly what really happened. This is the tanker, that was offloading fuel as at last night, around 9 to 10 p.m. And you can see the holes, where the fuel are meant to be going under. But then, according to some eyewitnesses, that they were just around when they heard sounds, explosions, more than 2 to 3 times, and it caught fire. So based on the visuals of what we're seeing here, the filling station did not really get much damage, because according to witnesses, they said when firefighters came as early as they could, they poured water in order to stop the movement of this fire, to touch this filling station. But then right behind, if you see, there is an apartment building there. So the fire, of course, because of how close the tanker is to that apartment building, the top house at that point got burnt to some extent. Now, of course, we have not been able to talk to the resident there because they're shying away from talking to us. But then this is the major building that got really burnt. Talking about the FCT IRS building, because it was right close to this. As of now, based on what we're hearing on ground, they're saying that the management of AYM Shafa filling station is in the building with the FCT IRS, talking, because we know that, of course, the damage payment has to come from the filling station. So it might end up being something that the insurance company would handle. So, yeah, basically, this is what we're hearing. We missed the road safety call where he pointed out that so far, there's been a bit of 3 casualties. People were saying, I think it would be better to hear from an eyewitness. So we have an eyewitness here, Godwin Solomon. Mr. Godwin, please explain to us. Thank you so much for joining us. Explain to us what you saw when you got into, when you heard an explosion.
Okay. When I came, the fire was so heavy, but the fire service did their best by starting spraying their equipment, by spraying their chemical. Well, they did a lot, so I appreciate the fire service for that. So the fire was so heavy to the extent that people were shocked how did this fire happen. But to God be the glory, the fire service did a lot.
Now, earlier you did tell us that you saw, a firefighter being pulled out and even being helped. That's Explain to us about that, and you can look at the camera.
Okay. When I came, I saw, first of all, I saw the fire service man on the floor where they are pressing him. They are just pressing him, doing some kind of things so that he could be able to survive. So before the next thing, I just saw a motor, a fire service ambulance. They just come and took the man and go. So I think they are taken him to hospital for treatment, for a better treatment.
Now we're seeing some cars get burned. Were you here? Did you see how this whole thing happened?
Yeah, when the car started burning, I'm not here, but I think I just saw fire like this one here. Yeah, the one close to the tanker. Yes, I just saw fire there inside the car, but I didn't saw the wrecks. But they say, according to what I heard, they say 3 cars burned last night.
Thank you very much, Godwin. So basically, based on the eyewitness, they're saying that some people got injured, and we're thinking it's the people that were in this car, on their way to get some fuel, and also the firefighter who was at the scene trying to, help stop the fire from escalating, also got injured at some point, maybe inhaled a lot of smoke, where the witness said he saw him being helped, to at least get some air back into his lungs. So basically, this is what we have ascertained from this building, from this fire rather. And of course, if there is any update, I would bring it to the viewers. Back to you, Blessings.
Really great to know that the fire service providers acted with so much swiftness, and they were able to save lives as well. Thank you so much. Even every year from August 1 to 7, countries around the world mark World Breastfeeding Week to raise awareness of the importance of breastfeeding for the health and survival of infants. Health experts say one of the most effective ways to give a child a healthy start is through exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life. Yet, despite its proven benefits, many babies do not receive it. News Central's Aisha Telu joins us live to examine why exclusive breastfeeding matters, the challenges preventing many mothers from practicing it, and what more can be done to improve child nutrition and development. Aisha, there has to be a reason why this exclusive breastfeeding is very important, yet it doesn't seem like many children receive it. It's another week of breastfeeding campaign. What have we learned from this drive, the challenges and areas of improvement?
Well, Blessings, it's indeed another week of the awareness for breastfeeding. Today marks the end of the week-long campaign drive that has been ongoing, even at the federal level and across different states. And we know that before now, even to support this drive, there has been policies put in place just to ensure that mothers are able to put their children to breast milk right from age 0 up until 6. One of those policies would be the 3 months maternity leave approved for mothers, and also just very recently the 7 days paternity leave, although according to company policies. But then again, experts believe that these exclusive breastfeeding that they have always preached about, saying that it is sufficient and it is cost effective, it also helps the infants to develop immunity from diseases. It helps brain development, amongst other benefits that come with exclusive breastfeeding. Experts have said that it looks as if this breastfeeding exclusively is still not being practiced up to par as expected. And we have also seen statistics and data from the NDHS and also UNICEF saying that even from 2025 up until now, there has been a slight decline from what used to be obtainable till now. And they have alluded these to the reasons that there there are little or no support for mothers to ensure they carry on this practice of exclusive breastfeeding. It could be support from the workplace, support from even the community, support from the family. And they have also alluded to some challenges. There are still barriers such as culture, religion, amongst others. And experts have also said that although policies are in place, that the workplace should provide perhaps a crèche where mothers could go and, when it's time to feed their babies, breastfeed their babies, they could do that. But we still see that not being implemented. I mean, even across ministries here in the FCT, you don't get to see a designated area created for breastfeeding mothers to do that. Even in some private companies, you don't also get to see that. And so these are the many issues that come with this practice of exclusive breastfeeding. The challenges are still available, and also awareness, lack of awareness. As much as we have this week-long campaign every year, experts have urged that this awareness should be carried out months. It should be monthly, not just something that should be done yearly, because some mothers, especially those in the rural communities, are still not aware, and they still do not know the benefits of exclusive breastfeeding, because everything needed for the child, for the child's nutrition is already in the breast milk. So some mothers still believe they need to accompany it with water or other stuff so that the child can gain what it needs. But then experts are saying that awareness needs to be carried on consistently, and also the support from the workplace, from the family, from the community, even religious centers, and even across every sector should be put in place so that mothers practice this, and then babies at the end of the day benefit from what is expected from exclusive breastfeeding.
All right, Aisha Saliu there with the update on the need for exclusive breastfeeding. And one of the major challenges that she has spotlighted is the lack of awareness. So it's the hope that more awareness is created in that regard. You're live with us on the 12 Report. Once again, we go on yet another short break. When we come back, we've got more stories. Just stay with us. The House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating the controversial Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council has resumed its probe, with the permanent secretary of the State House denying granting the Accountant General of the Federation approval for a budgetary provision for the council. News Central's Idong Joseph reports.
Honorable Chairman, sir, let me clarify that if a letter is coming to Accountant General's office and it says, attention, Director of Federal Projects, even if that department doesn't exist, the letter must first come to Accountant General. So letter must first go to Permanent Secretary State House. So the idea is, if this office does not exist, it is unraveled.
Arising from allegations that the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation acted on a purported letter from the State House to include the Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council in the national budgets, among other several letters and signatories. The Permanent Secretary, like every other agencies that have appeared before the panel, has denied any engagement with the Council.
Can you confirm if you have received any letter like this as a response from even though you did not write any letter to them, have you received any letter of that nature? Approving court for budget? Okay.
Responding to questions from lawmakers, the Director of Administration at the State House, who represented the Permanent Secretary, denied any engagement with the Council.
I never got the details to know about it until the Permanent Secretary State House and myself, Director of Administration State House, we are invited to the Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Office. That was the first time that I got the details to know about all this.
Meanwhile, the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, responding to allegations by businessman Collins Oyekunle that an official vehicle of the agency picked him up from the airport, confirmed that 7 official government vehicle plate numbers were approved for the council.
Having completed the foregoing verification processes and being satisfied with the information presented, the Corps approved and allocated 7 official federal government vehicle number plate to the agency as follows. the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as per the memorandum attached.
The court says that it followed due process after submission of relevant documents before issuing the approval. In Abuja for News Central, Idong Joseph.
Up north in Plateau State, where Governor Caleb Mutfwang has inaugurated the state coordination unit of the Renewed Hope Youth Engagement, as activities build up towards the 2027 general elections. Represented by his deputy, Josephine Pio, the governor said that the event is proof of his commitment to the All Progressives Congress leadership to encourage youths to support efforts aimed at nation building. News Central's Chizoba Anyowe was at the event and now completes this report.
According to available data, Nigerian youth form the largest chunk of the nation's 200 million population. They also contribute the highest percentage of its voting population. Thus, the need to ensure their inclusion in governance and participation in electoral activities. The Plateau State government, while reaffirming the importance of youth to the development of the state, reiterated this need and their contribution to nation building.
It is the affirmation of a vision that recognizes young people not as spectators in governance, but as indispensable partners in nation building. It reflects our shared commitment to creating opportunities for youth participation on leadership, innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainable development.
As the custodian of the people down there, they were divided into strata called wards, also segmented called units. To us, just to say, we will deliver.
We are ready. We are going to hold 207 wards in Plateau State. We are going to campaign, and we are not going to leave anybody behind. And the youth are the fulcrum of any development in any nation, and Nigeria will not fall behind.
So this inauguration today is not just about an individual or a coordination unit. It's about a vision for a shared prosperity for our future as young people of Nigeria.
To declare the state coordinator inaugurated in the name of God the Father.
With the Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang formally inaugurating the state coordination unit of the Renewed Hope Youth Engagement, youth mobilization for the 2027 elections will formally commence. In Plateau State for News Central, Chizoba Anyowe.
The Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, has commended the leadership style of Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo and Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo, describing both governors as humble and committed to people-centered governance. The monarch made the remarks during the courtesy visit by the governors to his palace in Ile-Ife, Osun State. News Central's Amenzi Bazwai reports.
One of Nigeria's foremost traditional rulers has called for leadership anchored on humility, integrity, and service to the people. Receiving governors of Edo and Kogi states at his palace in Ile-Ife, the Oni of Ife said their approach to governance reflects values that strengthen public confidence in leadership. The traditional ruler particularly encouraged Governor Monday Okpebholo to remain focused on people-oriented policies, describing humility and accessibility as essential qualities of public office.
We are very happy and delighted to have the two governors with a very rare characteristics. I repeat, their characteristics are so rare amongst their peers. These two governors, I really truly want all of you to appreciate them and emulate them. I have a very strong relationship with the two governors that are here. And I'm happy that you are in Osun, you are in Ife, the source of the entire Yoruba people.
Responding on behalf of the delegation, Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo thanked the traditional ruler for his role in promoting peace and national unity. He said traditional institutions remain critical partners in fostering stability, dialogue, and development across the country.
We are here in Osun State for peace. We have come to preach peace for non-residents and the indigene of Osun State. We have come to let them know what Mr. President is doing as far as Nigeria is concerned. Because Mr. President is one man that by the special grace of God Almighty, he's made. He's not lacking, but he is concerned about the welfare of his people, most especially the downtrodden.
The visit is part of ongoing engagements between state governments and traditional institutions aimed at strengthening collaboration on peace building, unity, and community development. In Edo, for News Central, Ameze Bazwai.
Still live with us on the 12 report. Yet again, we go on another break. Stay with us for more stories when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. The governorship candidate of the African Action Congress in Osun State, Honorable Olajide Eson, has expressed concerns about the current situation in the state, days leading to the election. He said the best option for the people will be the AAC. He now joins us live from Osogbo, the state capital. Honorable Olajide Eson, thank you for joining us. What exactly would you say are your major concerns, that of your party as regards the forthcoming elections in the state I'm in?
Thank you. My major concern has to do with the issue of vote buying and electoral violence that are, been happening in the state. So we'll be making sure that we are telling ourselves, our people, to desist from all forms of violence, but that is the concern and the issue of vote buying.
So regarding the recent accounts freezing and things like that, would you say that the trust of the people have been shaking a bit when it comes to electoral practices and even governance generally in the state?
Yeah, because there shouldn't be any basis for that, and I would call it abuse of power, and there shouldn't be any reason for EFCC or federal government to take such an action.
All right, and if you were to look at the future of the state in terms of governance, where would you say you see the state in the next year or 2 years?
Where the state is today, the state is actually going nowhere if we still have the same kind of leadership we have in the state today, because they do not have any tangible investment in human capital development, no tangible investment in education, and no tangible investment in making our youth resourceful. So, and that is the issue. And the best investment the government can make is human capital development, because when your people become resourceful, that is when they have economic value. And it is those who have economic value who can be able to pay taxes. And unless we, AAC, political party that represent the only ideological political party in Nigeria, comes into position of leadership, that is when we can be able to liberate Osun State and be able to put the right things in place for our people.
So with all of this that you have said, what would you say are your own plans, and what would you say also distinguishes you from every other contestant?
First of all, in the history of governorship election in Nigeria, my manifesto no manifesto comes close to my manifesto. And because it has a lot to do with giving governance back to the people. We want to make governance participatory, because for too long, governance has drifted away from people it meant to serve. And what we are experiencing now is more of elite capture, not real leadership. And I do see that where there is no vision, perversion reigns. And what we have been experiencing, not just in Osun State, is perversion disguises as leadership. And what we are much more interested in is to give governance back to the people, because when the people are in charge, a lot of things can be done easily. But when political leaders have domineering influence over the people, a lot of things will, the problem will keep on going up. So that is the thing. And another thing is that we want to make sure that we create what we call Osun resident database, because this database will give us the demographic information of Osun resident and will help us to be able to put the right things in place for people in Osun State. Another one has to do with financial dashboard. Financial dashboard is something that is going to make it easier for Osun people to track government spending, to know what comes in, what the expenditures are, and what is left in government account. And that is when their 1 naira misses, they can question me that governor, where is that 1 naira? That is accountability that has never been there anywhere in Nigeria. And another thing is what we call Ministry of Citizens' Rights, Workers' Protection and Compensation. We know that in Nigeria, justice is only meant for the rich. We want to create a kind of balance in a society that is every Osun resident will have equal access to justice. And another one is Osun Child Trust Fund. We want to make it an investment portfolio for every child born in Osun State, so that when they turn to the age of 18, they can be able to withdraw this money and to either further their education or start up a business. These things are these are foundational plans, not just about the regular way of recycling failed promises that that we've been
Okay, Honorable, very quickly.
We've been facing in Nigeria.
Yeah, very quickly, Honorable.
So another we want to make, we have what we call...
if you can hear me, Honorable, very quickly, the elections are 8 days away. What would you say is your level of confidence regarding the level playing field, if it exists in Osun State, and whether you think you have a fighting chance to come up tops?
People are tired of this current establishment, and most of the people who take money from politicians do that because they do not have faith in them, because they have been recycling the same promises of road, electricity, and all that, and they never have them. And what they have been doing is, is more of siphoning state money and be doing kangaroo projects. And I believe that people want real leadership. People who put, the kind of leaders who sacrifices, not the ones who take advantage of the same problem that they themselves have created. Because in Nigeria, we don't solve problems in this country. We manage problems, and the kind of leaders we have always want to keep those problems around, so that they can keep on giving them advantage over the people, and that is it.
All right, Honorable Olajide Eso, governorship candidate for the AAC in Osun State. Thank you so much for joining us and speaking to the level of preparedness for the elections that is coming in just 8 days. Thank you for your time with us. All right, quickly to update on the ongoing WAFCON in Morocco, Super Falcons had a light training session today ahead of their trip to Casablanca, their new base, ahead of the quarterfinal clash against Cameroon. All players participated in light warm-up as there were no injuries reported. Joining us now from Rabat, Morocco, is Onyechi Obaro with more details. Onyechi, with the squad fully involved in today's session, how confident is the team heading into the move to Casablanca, and what will be the main focus as preparations continue for Sunday's crucial quarterfinal against Cameroon?
Blessings. At the moment, I think the team, they know what is at stake. They know that the quarterfinal, it's where the ticket to the 2027 Women's World Cup, that is where it will be picked. So the winner between Nigeria and Cameroon would have an automatic ticket to the 2027 Women's World Cup in Brazil. So the girls understand this, judging by how prepared we saw them in the warm-up training today, the light training they had to encounter. Now, this is the first training that they're having after picking the quarterfinal ticket, after thumping Egypt in that Women's African Cup of Nations. Now, right now, we know that the coach has said he's going to be focused on the tactical drills, making sure that the attack is top-notch, and also helping the defensive line to fine-tune how they're supposed to set up against a physical side like the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. One thing is the goal here. The girls want to remain in this competition. The girls know what is at stake, being the defending champion of this competition, and they know the kind of opponents that they are about to come up against. A side that they met in the Olympic qualifiers, a side that they also met in 2018, but in those encounters, Nigeria has taken an upper hand, and they'll be hoping to take an upper hand when that game comes up on Sunday.
All right, Onyechi Obaro with the updates there. Thank you so much for bringing us the updates, and definitely News Central is still live in Morocco to give you more as it unfolds. You're live with us on the 12 Report. Yet another quick break, and we'll continue with more stories. Stay with us. Let's take a look outside of Africa. A tragic school shooting in Thailand has left 8 people dead after a teenager allegedly carried out a brutal attack in Nonthaburi province. Police say the suspect first shot and killed his grandparent using his grandfather's handgun before heading to Depsirin Nonthaburi School north of Bangkok. He allegedly killed 3 teachers and 3 students. Emergency responders and heavily armed police rushed to the scene. Parents hurried to secure their children. Outside the school, grieving students and staff embraced one another in shock. One student, Parisa Melissa, said she feared she would die and never achieve her dream of becoming a doctor. Authorities are investigating the motive behind the devastating attack. And that's all on the 12 Report today. Do well to sending your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen, as we want to see what you see. Follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You're watching News Central Live. You can watch News Central Live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Blessings Mosugu.